How we are. Back at it again with another video, no YouTube episode. It's the one and only Stephen QT80. I'm blessed to be alive on this nice, beautiful Sunday. You know, I just came from church, heard the good word. Powerful way to start your week off, you know what I'm saying? Make sure you like, subscribe, share this with a fellow relative, brother, sister, cousin, friend, things of that nature. Today we're going to discuss about why it's important to not underestimate your own potential. It's important to not underestimate your own potential because you never know where you will be just because of where you are. You know what I'm saying? Just because you are somewhere don't mean you're going to stay there forever. Doesn't mean that's going to be your end-all be-all. Doesn't mean that you're not going to see your breakthrough. But you have to understand that it's a test to everything. God is testing to see how you are in that state of being where you currently are if it's not where you want to be. He's testing to see your character. He's testing to see your development skills. He's testing to see how you treat others, how your heart is, if your heart is hard, if your heart is soft, if your heart is pure towards another brother, another sister, you know what I'm saying? He's seeing all that in the development stages of where you are now, you know, because what he gives, he can ultimately take away. So today we learned that there's 3 stages of people you meet. There's going to be people below you, there's going to be people at your level, and there's going to be people above your level, you know what I'm saying? But each person, you still have to respect them regardless of what their title is, what their sense of nature is, because at the end of the day, we all people. We are nobody without Christ, you know what I'm saying? So when you know that, you understand that, okay, I'm not just going to be out here talking to anybody a certain type of way just because I have this certain title, just because I have this certain type of respect from people and status of things of that type of nature, you know what I'm saying? So when you understand that, you'll move with a sense of urgency, knowing that whatever it has in you now can be getting taken away from you later. So you always got to be humble in a sense of your work. Not saying don't be confident in your work, but know that it can be gone in a span of an instant if you don't continue to uphold the habits, the discipline, the consistency that it took for you to get that position in the first place. You know what I'm saying? So never underestimate yourself, man. Never tell yourself you can't do something. Never tell yourself this is hard. Never tell yourself, you know, I will do this in 3 years, 2 years, bro. Never tell yourself these types of things, because you're going to ultimately subconsciously put that in your brain, and you're not going to achieve the things you want to achieve. And it's going to bite at you. It's going to haunt you, because you know that you are able to achieve those goals. You are able to achieve those visions. You're able to treat people with respect. You're able to treat people with kindness, courtesy, and all sorts of things like that. So when you limit your mind to not being able to do certain things like that, you're going to just be living for other people. You're going to be living on other people's needs, other people's time, and you're not going to be happy with yourself. You're going to just be looking to satisfy your flesh. You're going to be looking to satisfy all things that don't really matter. That's not the end goal. You know what I'm saying? The other reason why you should never underestimate yourself is because you have the power within you. You know, the power is within you. You have the ability to tell people yes. You have the ability to tell people no. You have the ability to show up to work if you want. You have the ability not to show up to work if you don't want. You ultimately have the ability to do everything in this earth, bro. So when you play with your own power, when you play with your own sense of urgency, you're just shooting yourself in the foot, man. You're shooting yourself in the foot, man, because never underestimate yourself, man. It sounds cliche, it sounds detrimental, but it can be detrimental to your own success, bro. Because somebody else is looking up to you. Somebody else trying to be like you. Somebody else can use your story to be motivated to do what you're trying to do, especially with their own life, bro. And that's what we're here to do, bro. We're not here to live for ourselves. We're here to live to inspire the next generation, to inspire the next people, you know what I'm saying? So always make sure that you doing the best version for yourself, bro, and making sure that you waking up and trying to win every day, bro. Because at the end of the day, ain't nobody coming to save you. So if you have a mindset of, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, bro, you think people care? You think people are gonna feel bad for you, especially if you're a man, bro? Ain't nobody coming to save you with that mindset. So why not develop a mindset of a thick skin that, okay, I can tackle this, I can tackle that, because I already know that there's oppositions against me. I already know that there's people wanting me to have to not be confident. I already know there's people who want me to be scared. There's people who want me to lose. There's people who don't want me to succeed. And then you'll be like, okay, now that you see that, you'll be forced to just go harder, bro. Just by nature, because you're like, okay, people want me to lose. Let me show y'all something different. Let me show y'all that I'm a winner. First, show yourself you're a winner, and then automatically people gonna see that. You know what I'm saying? We don't do things to please people, bro. We do things to better our lives. We do things to inspire somebody else's life. We do things to make our lives easier so that we can help people more. You know what I'm saying? Never underestimate your value. Never underestimate your worth. Never think you're below somebody. Never think you're above somebody. And never walk with pride. You know, always be humble. Not saying that you can't be confident in your work. Not saying that you can't be happy about what you do. Not saying you can't be disciplined and talk about what you do, but there's a sense of urgency, there's a sense of a line where you have to draw it, especially when you're amongst people who are not at that same level. You have to kind of, not saying dim your light, but you have to kind of relate to people to get your point across. You know what I'm saying? It's just like sales. You know how even in sales, right? The whole purpose of sales is literally to help people's needs. Who has the best product or service that can help the most people's needs? That's literally the only point of sales. So automatically with sales, you're not just thinking for yourself. You're thinking about the people. You're thinking about the economy. You're thinking about everybody that can benefit from your product or your service. You know what I'm saying? So if you are looking at it from that aspect, you understand, okay, not everybody's going to be on my level. Not everybody's going to be in the middle level. Not everybody's going to be in the lower level. But there's people there. So what can I do to help each people at these levels? And then you will understand that you cannot underestimate yourself, because you are needed to bring value to this world. Let's keep cooking, man. Let's keep cooking, man. The last reason I would say is to not underestimate yourself is because you have the ability to achieve everything you want, bro. Your mind, let's say that. Your mind is the only limit that you create. There's no limitations in this world, bro. You can do everything you put your mind to. You'd be like, but Steve, it's harder for black people to get jobs. It's harder for minorities. It's harder for this, harder for that. Yes, that's true. But at the end of the day, there was people back in those times still breaking the barriers. When it was challenged, when it was way more harder, you know, there was people of color winning Nobel Peace Prize, people of color putting in work, winning awards, winning this. That showed that their persistency over time showed that their work was more valued than the complexion of their skin, where they were from, their background, because somebody realized the work, bro. You can't just disavoid work. You can't avoid somebody who's putting in the work. You can't neglect somebody who's putting in the work. It's like the same thing when you walk in the room, you know you look good, you're a high value man, you know you attract the aura and things of that nature, and people try to act like they don't see you. People try to fake like you're not in the room. People trying to act like you're not there. Your presence is not there. Meanwhile, in the back of their head, they're like, wow, look at this guy. He's right here, right next to me. Wow. They're talking about, as soon as you leave the room, all the conversation starts talking about you. It's because the thing with people is they don't know how to show love once a person is actually in their presence, but they're good at showing love once a person is dead. Passed away or gone from the earth. You know what I'm saying? Because people have that sense of missing out on a person when they're not there. I don't know, it's just this weird psychological thing with people and the mindsets of actually appreciating a person when they're alive, putting in the work, attaining certain things of status, attaining certain things of spiritual, physical, all types of stuff, you know. People really only tend to show love when you're gone, bro. It's a very sad thing to see, but as you keep moving up on the ranks, you're gonna tend to ignore it, and you're gonna tend to attract people who will show you that love when you're still alive, when you're still doing it. So back to my main point, don't let your mind make limitations on you. Don't let your mind of your flesh tell you can't do this, tell you can't do that, say you can't achieve this, or help this person do that because you don't have a source of resources, or a source of gain, a source of physical strength. It can all be attained, bro, if you put in the work. If you put in the work. Yeah, I keep getting denied to jobs. I keep getting denied to this workout. I keep getting denied to this tryout. Keep putting in the work. If you truly want it, you'll put in the work. Bro, I didn't really get an opportunity in high school. I didn't really get an opportunity in middle school. I got my breakthrough somehow in AAU by just putting in the work. Got a scholarship, a full walk-on scholarship to a D1 school. My only offer, transferred to another school. Was gonna get that same opportunity, but the coach left. I said, dang, what I gotta do? Am I gonna quit or keep going? Fought through that. I had to go back to a 2-year institution, leaving a prestigious university. People were looking at me crazy. People were saying, why'd you do this? Why'd you leave that school to go there just to play ball? Are you crazy? Are you crazy? You should have got your degree here. I said, I'm not listening to you. I'm just listening to me and God. I know what my vision is. I know what my purpose is. I know what I'm going to inspire. I know who I'm going to inspire. You know what I'm saying? I didn't let that limitation in my mind stop me from achieving my goal. I didn't say, oh, because the coach left here, he told me he promised me here, I'm going to just stop now because he left. No, I left that school, went to that school, ended up getting a scholarship to another prestigious school. That school ends up shutting down. Wow, man, the journey is crazy. And I went to another school, didn't really get fairly treated on the team. I was one of the older guys on that team, so they wasn't really trying to give me burn because they wanted to promote their younger guys, you know, even though I was busting their younger guys. But, you know, I was thinking that, okay, if I outperform in practice, if I go hard, just like the last video, it's about who you know, it's about connection, it's about if you're tied in, if you're plugged in. It doesn't matter sometimes. It's about 90% mentally, 10% physical. Yeah, I had a good game, I had this, but I wasn't plugged in connectedly over there on that side of the school I went to. I didn't know most of the relations. My parents didn't really meet the coach face to face. All these little things matter of what opportunities you can get, bro. This world is about networking and connecting with others, bro. So I say that to say this, bro. Let me continue my story. So after that school, boom, I became a professional basketball player for a stint that I had in Guatemala. You know what I'm saying? Boom, things happened there. So now I'm back in the States. You know, I have different opportunities to go back. I have opportunities to go there. But now I'm going to take my story to motivate the next kid and keep going with my story. You know what I'm saying? That always was going to be there for me. You know what I'm saying? But I achieved my childhood dream only because I didn't let the limitations of things going on in my life affect me, take me down, put my mindset down, derail my value, derail my confidence. I kept pursuing and I kept going, and you can do the same thing. And it's your boy, Steven Ukiteti. I love y'all. Y'all stay up, man.